Mr. Richard Mille. Heard of his brand? Of course you have. Even if you can't afford his watches, you've probably seen them on the wrists of musicians, actors, and even some pro cyclists. Richard Milles are known for using exotic materials, pioneering these wild to no case-shaped designs, and for their hefty price tags, all while still maintaining some horological chops. I was lucky enough to get a little hands-on time with this $1,095,000 RM66 Flying Tourbillon, so let's take a look. The most noticeable feature of the RM66 is that red gold skeletonized hand holding up the devil's horn sign while simultaneously clutching the watch's movement, which sorta looks like a guitar. RM says the gesture symbolizes kinship and inclusion with a pinch of rebellion and darkness. However you interpret it, it's a pretty cool design to have in a watch. It's not my style, but it'd be right at home on the wrist of an Ozzy Osbourne or a Gene Simmons. Right above the hand is where you find the Flying Tourbillon. Flying Turbs, I learned that slang from Kevin Hart, don't have upper bridges, so it looks like the tourbillon cage is just floating right above the hand. In the middle, you also find the seal of the skull, which is a nod to a previous model from Richard Mille, the RM52. The case isn't as wild as the insides, but still a complicated affair. It's made of both carbon and titanium with some gold inserts on the sides. The bezel and the caseback are made of carbon TPT, which is tougher and a little more complicated to produce than regular carbon. In between the carbon, you'll find grade 5 titanium along with polished red gold inserts that are finished in a clou de Paris pattern. The dimensions of the case are 42.7mm wide, 49.94mm tall, and 16.5mm thick. The overall package is kind of big for me, which is why I tend to like the sportier RM6702. It's a little more svelte on the wrist and looks great on athletes during competitions. I'm not an athlete, but I can try. The crown is massive and is easy to grip, and it's made of grade 5 titanium. Richard Mille says it's in the shape of a spider gripping the center ruby and rubber gasket. The ease of grip is great since the watch isn't an automatic. And don't worry about overwinding it because the crown is torque limiting, so it disengages when the mainspring reaches optimal tension. The RM66 is wild and a crazy expensive rock star of a watch. Rocking out requires a little bit of crazy and unreasonableness, and this watch definitely embodies that in a good way. Again, it's not for me, but I respect the design and can see some rich folk really digging it. I've never really grabbed the devil by the horns, but if you have, then this watch is for you, if you can afford it, of course.